Hello guys, welcome back to the Big Brother 28 episode recaps on Literal TV. So today we are talking all things episode 13. Subscribe to the channel, we'll have an update after every episode. This one's a little delayed because got a little lazy for a second and we had a lot of commotion going on in my house. Yes, it's 2 a.m. So yeah, subscribe every episode, you're going to get a recap. So let's get right into things. This episode starts off with a lot. We had like 10 minutes worth of pre-head of household content, which was quite interesting. So we got kind of a lot of Haley and a lot of Drew. And oh my god, Haley is getting dunked on in the early part of this edit. Later on, she seems a little more justified in some things, but early on, they're like, oh, she's body shaming Melody. She's like talking about Melody's breasts, and it's like, first off, no shame to Melody's breasts. That's like, breasts are breasts. But also, like, why are we doing that anyway? She just looks like a huge woman here. And she doesn't call like a woman a bitch at some point, which, I mean, she's a woman, so it's not like it's misogynistic, but it's just like, what are we doing? But anyway, she was looking good this episode, though. Haley usually is not one of the better looking women. She looked pretty good this episode in a very respectful way to everyone. So anyway, we end up with the other part of it being Drew is mistrusted. Drew's in the middle, and Barrett's also a little bit mistrusted because Barrett was in the middle, but a lot of the heat goes on to Drew. And Rick Devens ain't trusting Drew anymore, someone that used to trust Drew a lot. And it was interesting. There's been a lot of talks in the feed community this week about Drew. These talks about a power, which we'll get into with the BB time capsule, but a lot of fun talks this week, which I don't know. It is funny, but anyway, we move into the head house competition, which is I don't really know what to call it. I guess the murder mystery comp from last season. It's like 4 corners, I guess. Like you have to go somewhere that is not going to get eliminated, but there are clues to it. So it's like the house has 6 rooms. And yeah, so we start this comp, and I think this comp's fine. Like, I don't really think it's that fun of a comp to watch, I'll be honest. But, like, I guess, bro, like, if you want to really do this again, I guess. I don't know if it's a staple, because cool. It seemed very fitting for last season. I guess they made a way for it to fit for this season with the time travel, but you can make anything fit for this season, like anything. So they do this comp, and our first round, Devons and Angela are out, and it's like, oh wait, is the other side gonna win? And there's a deal made at one point with that involving Haley, Lyric, and Yash, which is such a weird group, but it's a deal made. And Haley is kind of the last red corner standing in the end, because D gets out, Chuck gets out on his own, which was so funny because Chuck's like the character nobody cares about. None of the fans care about. The edit doesn't care about. People in the game don't really seem to care about him that much. He's just like an add-on to the red corner. Or I guess, what do they even have a trio? Like, what is the 3 that is like Chuck, Camu, and Haley? Like, is there a 3 within that? Because that's obviously the core, but also like it isn't necessarily the core, because Devons and the kind of 2-tone. There's a lot of alliances going on though in this house that aren't necessarily shown in the edit. So I don't know if they've already happened yet though. So anyway, we end up with Yash versus Haley, and Yash had also would have been interesting because Yash doesn't get much screen time. He gets like a little snippet every so often, and that's about it. And I mean, we don't get a Yash win. Yash was not really given anything before the competition, whereas Haley was given a lot, even if it was not necessarily positive, and it made her look like a shit talker. She did get a lot of content, so Haley ends up winning. And obviously, if you watch feeds, you knew this. But anyway, and immediately there are talks of who to nominate. So the obvious picks are some of the littles, the lyrics, the Mallorys, the melodies. But Taylor has essentially immediately shit-talked Haley, like, while she's there, just about Candy. Taylor isn't a very sensible player in the game. She's a very personal player. And here's the thing, I like when people vote. I liked when she voted to keep Rome, because I thought, oh, she's voting based on, like, just what she wants. But then she explained this episode, she was like, I vote on personal. I mean, like, to a degree, I get it. You should vote on your personal opinion, but it shouldn't just be personal relationship. It should be personal game information, personal game relationship. I just wanted to say that because it was Big Brother 22 reference. Awful season, but I thought that was actually quite funny when that happened. So, yeah, Taylor's got beef there. There's also Lala and Haley don't get along, which Lala ends up talking shit about Haley as she leaves the room, which, this is the only time where I was like, okay, I actually feel bad for Haley. Like, she was just talking about something like her mum does with food, and then Taylor's like, yeah, I do that too. Haley's room. Well, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about her fucking stupid mother. I'm like, guys, come on. Lala. But, yeah, that's about the most fun I've had with Lala as a character so far. I really wish she was doing more, because she's not really doing anything in the game. But anyway, we end up getting to these talks about Drew, who has been talked about as playing all sides and cutting a tool out the tool shed, as Rick Devon said earlier on in the episode. And Barrett seems down to get rid of the tool shed group, but not for the same reasons. Barrett seems to not trust the red corner side of it. And this is weird, because Drew is getting paid as this snake. He really is loyal to the the tool shed, though. And in particular, the crossovers. The tool shed, not so much, but the crossovers for sure. And my hand is bleeding. My hand's bleeding. I've been trying to play it off casually, but it really hurts. Anyway, so we end up moving into the BB time capsule. And there was a lot of talk this week about people thinking Drew was hinting at having a coin. I believe it was meant to be on BB23. I'm not going to lie, I gave up on BB23 when Derek X went out, but I don't know if it was on BB23 or I'm just making this up. I'm also linked it to Survivor's Mr. Beast advantage, but like a coin that gets flipped, and if it lands right, the winner gets the head of household. Like, they overtake it, and the head household's still immune though, because, yeah. But there was a lot of talk about that. There was no confirmation, and it felt weird how it was never said and it was never used. Now, people were saying, oh, Drew's just trying to, like, keep it under wraps. Drew's not going to tell anyone. Drew just didn't get it. Dee got it. Dee gets the power. She wins the power, and she gets the bribe from last season, the one Zach didn't use. Pretty iconic moment. Zach not using the bribe despite being on the block. I don't fully know. I think they have to take the bribe. They have to take the $5,000, which, I mean, Dee keeping this secret, I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't, because I think she should have told Rick, because Rick told her about his, and I think that's a very tight duo. I'm shocked he doesn't know. I'm pretty confident he doesn't know. But then this time capsule always comes like really soon before nominations, so we move into nominations very soon after, and there were a lot of options for nominees. There were all three of the Littles. There was Taylor, there was Lala, there was Drew. And Drew ends up getting put up as the target, told he's a pawn. But he is alongside Melody and Taylor, I believe. I'm pretty sure I got that right. I need to start writing notes for these. But yeah, those are your nominees. And this week is... This wasn't the best episode, but it was fine. I think that this week has potential still to end up being good. But we need a power shift, because I don't think this house is as straightforward as it seems, but the same group keep winning power, and it just is not really viable. It's not a good season. It's not a fun thing to watch. And I'll be honest with production here, they've not really messed up. These comps are pretty equitable. This comp was definitely equitable. Like, I think Rachel Riley won it last season, and Rachel Riley was like an unfit mother on that season at the start. That she, I think she started getting into shape through that season. I think she was hitting the gym and stuff. But yeah, and not body shaming over here. But yeah, the season without Jason, I wasn't even the hugest Jason fan, but I think he brought good TV. Yeah. There's been more that's come out about this. I think the Camus stuff died down. A lot of fans were like, Camus has to go. The producers need to tell Haley to nom Camus. It's like, I think it's kind of died down because that George Floyd video, there was more context to it. I saw, it's still bad. It's still bad. But it's not pull-worthy is the thing. And if it was, they shouldn't put him on the cast. Because they definitely knew his political beliefs going in. They might not have known about this video. I will give them benefit of doubt on that, but that doesn't matter. His political beliefs are still there, and it is a risk, because these types of people that have these types of opinions, they're not necessarily in line with what a lot of the viewers are going to feel, and they're going to feel like derogatory. And the point is like, it doesn't really matter to Paramount, because Paramount's like right wing now. I mean, I don't know all the inner workings of Paramount, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty right wing. That was not said correctly. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. I will be back with episode 14's recap on Wednesday. Thank you all for watching, and this was a decent episode. Goodbye.